Before we know it, it'll be December and John Cena will give his final farewell to the WWE fans. And as of right now, John Cena has gone back to being a good guy. He had his huge title match at SummerSlam with Cody Rhodes. He came out as the old John Cena, and he was a clear-cut babyface because we had a full face turn on the SmackDown before SummerSlam that we'll talk about. Because today we're gonna have some fun and discuss the heel turn, the face turn, SummerSlam, and John Cena's final potential opponent we could see. My name is Matt, welcome to Assemble. Let's talk about the heel turn. Good, bad, what did you think? Did you like the heel turn? I thought Chamber was great. I thought him ripping into the kid in the audience was great afterwards on Raw. The pipe bomb on CM Punk was good. The match against Cody Rhodes at Mania 41 was not great. The Backlash match with Randy I thought was fun. The Punk match I thought delivered. I think most people are mixed on the overall heel run. Something that we had wanted to see from John Cena for so long in his career. What if John Cena turned bad and became a bad guy? How would they do it? Would he change his look, his theme music, everything about him? I don't know how well they delivered on it overall. I think that in a vacuum, for the heel run, people will look back on the moment of the turn with The Rock and Travis Scott to Cody Rhodes. And I think people will recognize that as a huge moment in wrestling and WWE. But I do think that as the heel run went on, they tweaked his character. He wanted to ruin wrestling. He wanted to destroy it all, take the WWE Championship with him. He was super frowny and angry all the time. But I felt like once they got to Randy Orton at Backlash, it started to tweak a little bit. It became a little bit more comedic, having the announcer announce his whole name and introductions differently. Cena playing back and forth with Randy and just being a little bit more comedic with it. The CM Punk pipe bomb and thugonomics thing they did. So I certainly think that fans will have some standout moments of it that they'll enjoy to look back on. But I don't think that this was the big earth-shattering shift in creative in WWE and John Cena's whole run, and everything will remember him as this amazing bad guy. If you're like me, you travel often enough every year. My wife likes to go to the Disney and I've got to pack a lot of suitcases. But Matt here likes to travel light, or I like to feel like I'm traveling pretty light. So I'm really happy to be able to work with today's sponsor, Ekster, because they have an amazing product that you guys need to be able to check out. The reusable travel vacuum bag. What we have is the travel pack vacuum kit. What's great is the bag itself. The quality is excellent. It's waterproof. It's made of nylon. You have an air pump that comes with it. It's super tiny and portable. And for every bag that you have, you can compress about 15 articles of clothing, which I loaded this thing up and I just sucked the air right out of it and I loved it. What I found fantastic was being able to take the entire reusable bag and be able to put it in my backpack, acts as a carry-on. I'm able to get everything I want onto an airplane, no problem. Still a ton of room too in my backpack. It's the one thing that I use all the time when I'm traveling. So I have plenty of room to be not only bringing my clothes, but my shoes and everything else. Putting it in your suitcase, your duffel bag, whatever you have, the quality of it is outstanding and I love the portability of it. Now, if you're traveling too and you're going across the world, you want to be able to track some of your stuff. Exter takes it a step forward. They actually have a full Finder card that you can slip into your luggage, your bag, whatever it is. Finder card works with your Apple device, with the Apple Find My app, and then you'll be able to locate it wherever you are. And then when you are traveling and you're going store to store and you're moving around town, you need to be able to bring your wallet. It's something that's a little bit more portable. Exter's got you covered because they actually have a fantastic wallet here that will hold up to 7 different cards. And it's got a very satisfying click on it. Look at it. I like that very much. But the travel pack is the hero. I want you guys to take advantage of this and check it out yourselves. You're gonna get up to like 60% more space in your suitcase. So for me, my wife can shove in more shoes and the hair dryer and the furniture in there too. And the good thing too is that it will double as a laundry bag by the time your trip is done. Use the QR code on screen, hit the link in the description below, and use my code WRESTLING to be able to get your discount. Also take advantage of their summer sale with up to 32% off until August 18th. Thank you so much to Exter for supporting the channel. Now back to the video. Because then we get to the final SmackDown before SummerSlam, right? Cody and Cena get in the ring together, and in one segment, within a couple of minutes, John Cena completely abandons his whole evil empire thinking and Darth Vader thinking of it all and just becomes a good guy once again. Doesn't want to do it anymore. Agrees with Cody Rhodes. He wants to bring the old Fiend back, run down to the ring, give the fans what they want. He wants to drop this whole thing and doesn't want to do it anymore. Which then obviously leads into the SummerSlam match, Brock Lesnar's return. I think all of that is kind of related in my opinion. But did you like it? Did you think that they should have done that on SmackDown to get to the SummerSlam match the way they did? because then it all worked out that the fans had permission to cheer for Cena, that they got to experience his full entrance, the real one, and see John Cena put on a babyface match with Cody Rhodes in a street fight. Did you like how they did it that way? Or would you sit on more of the side of them maybe doing that promo with Cody after SummerSlam? I can see both sides of it, because on one hand, yeah, it was great to see John Cena show up at SummerSlam with the championship facing the front and putting on a great match. Like that SummerSlam match, I absolutely loved. It totally delivered. For Cena's final run, to me, it was the best match so far. But if he didn't do the promo on SmackDown the way they did, where Cena just flat out turns face and kind of felt abrupt because we had been invested in this story, in this whole arc of him being a bad guy, siding with The Rock, wanting to take the title home, and seemingly just woke up one day and just said, I don't want to do that. If they had saved that promo between him and Cody and becoming a good guy once again to the following week or even on Raw, I think you still could have told a similar story. You could have had a promo on SmackDown where John Cena is conflicted and not sure what he's going to do. Even saying it on the microphone of, I'm not sure how I want to do this. Leaving a little bit of a teaser there for fans of like, oh, is he actually going to be a good guy now? Is it going to change during the match? What's he going to do? I am more on the camp, honestly, of Cena maybe have done it that way, where they teased it on SmackDown, and then you could still do it the same exact way at SummerSlam. The crowd unsure if it's going to be the black and white Tron and all of that and Cena's entrance, or was it going to be lit up like the old Cena? And I think you could have gotten even a bigger ovation if you did it that way. The crowd going crazy that it's face John Cena in the match itself, or simply telling the story and letting it unfold in the ring with Cody Rhodes, where John Cena acknowledges the crowd, gets on their side, becomes the babyface during the match itself, and fans get to see that unfold and get permission to cheer for him again. I could have seen them doing it both ways. I don't think that there's a right answer. I think it's just more personal preference. If you did it one way or the other, I still believe you can get to the moment at the end. Cena loses the championship, thanks the crowd, and we get Brock Lesnar. Because if he turned during the match, the crowd is loving Cena once again, and then you get to pop for Brock Lesnar, but ultimately boo him because he kind of ruined it, and now he's targeting the good guy John Cena that we all love. So let's talk about Brock Lesnar then. Brock is back. WWE brought him back. They're all loving it and tickled by it, and fans are very torn on it. And it does feel like this is to set up one more match between Brock and Cena, and I would guess that this is going to happen at Clash in Paris. So if we can, let's pull up on screen right now all of the remaining dates for John Cena in his farewell tour. And you can see on screen that we do have a couple of SmackDown appearances before Clash in Paris. From where I'm sitting, because we have one in Montreal and Brock is living in Canada, Brock Lesnar can show up on that one for a John Cena confrontation. Then you have a SmackDown in Ireland and France, and then Clash in Paris itself. Do you think that they're going to do 3 consecutive SmackDowns that are just Brock Cena segments? They could do it. They've done it with Cody and Cena, CM Punk, Randy Orton, where they're just talking segments. I can see with Brock Lesnar, though, having him come in and maybe wanting to do the big pull-apart brawl like they've done between Cena and Brock in the past. It will be interesting, though, whether we like Brock Lesnar or not, it will be interesting to see how they play this match, because we've seen a huge history between Brock and Cena. Like it or not, it's been there, and some of their matches have been pretty intense. We've seen a SummerSlam match, we've seen the Extreme Rules match, and we can go all the way back to the mid-2000s where both of these guys were coming up together out of OVW. The history is all there, so I wonder how much they'll play into the history, how much it will be Brock Lesnar just coming out and viciously dominating John Cena, and then we get the match at Clash in Paris. Now, because Cena doesn't have the belt anymore, Cena could go on his losing streak that he tends to do when he's a good guy, because the last couple of times that we've had the John Cena run, he has lost a lot. He lost against Solo Sikoa, he lost against Austin Theory. It felt like Cena would always come back to just lose, and so his matches didn't feel towards the end of the run, besides this final one, they didn't feel as monumental. And so I wonder if WWE would have Brock Lesnar win. I think a lot of that has to do with, is Brock going to be here long term? And by long term, I mean from Clash until WrestleMania. Or are they kind of playing it by ear? Because with all the controversy around Brock Lesnar, the internet going ablaze about it all the time, I think there is a question mark if they will have him there regularly every single week in programs, or will they get to the John Cena match and then reevaluate? We simply don't know. And we don't know how the crowd is going to react to Brock when he's there continuously on TV for most weeks. Because if you have Brock beat Cena, to me that is to then push Brock Lesnar through the fall to WrestleMania to give him a little momentum. And in a match, in a fight itself, it makes sense that Brock Lesnar would beat John Cena. But it'd be really cool if Cena was able to beat Brock, giving him like 5 attitude adjustments and calling it a day. So I'm at least interested in how they will approach that matchup. But after Clash, it's not over. We have another SmackDown. We have a final Monday Night Raw for John Cena. And then they go to Australia for Crown Jewel. So this is where it gets interesting for me. Who is going to be approaching John Cena after Clash in Paris for that SmackDown appearance, that final Monday Night Raw show, and then Crown Jewel? Will it be a different opponent on SmackDown, on Raw, and then Crown Jewel? Will it be somebody fresh coming in to challenge Cena for the match in Australia? And they build it over the course of 2 shows. To me, it's likely that SmackDown and Raw in September are John Cena coming out to do promos and not matches, but you never know, especially on Raw. That being his final Monday Night Raw appearance, he may do something like an open challenge, going back to when he was US champion, and he would always do an open challenge every Monday night. There are some names out there for people that he could face going into Crown Jewel. One of them, Drew McIntyre. I'd personally love it if Drew was the one to retire John Cena, to get a rub, to be able to move on to title matches and have that under his belt as somebody who retired John Cena. But I could also see them doing it to set up a match at Crown Jewel. Have Drew as the next big bad guy to go after John Cena, elevates Drew McIntyre once again a little bit higher, and a matchup I think a lot of fans would like to see. And you can build that over the course of that SmackDown and Raw, and then that's a nice match at Crown Jewel. But you go a different direction. What about LA Knight? We've had them in tag team match on SmackDown. We haven't had the one-on-one match. And that could be something that they want to do just on TV. Cena could do the promo on Raw, and LA Knight interrupts him. And LA Knight right now is in the middle of his whole thing with Punk, with The Vision, Seth Rollins, Dog Whisperer, and the Shula Fala Man. So maybe it wouldn't happen. But LA Knight is on that list for me of somebody I like to see John Cena go up against. And the 2 of them at Crown Jewel, that could be a really good match. But what about other names for Crown Jewel and setting that up? I also thought of Rey Mysterio. Now I know Rey is injured. I have no idea when Rey would come back and what his timeline is. But it is somebody from John Cena's past, and I'd love for them to go up against each other one more time. They could recreate a championship match like they had on Raw over 10 years ago now. Maybe do that on Raw or Crown Jewel. Again, don't know if Rey's coming back anytime soon. But if I had to guess right now, I probably lean on Drew McIntyre, but there are more names because John Cena's next appearance is going to be Survivor Series. So what does John Cena do at Survivor Series? Does he join a War Games match? What if John Cena is in a War Game? Never done that before. And maybe he teams up with everybody to take on Seth's group. He could team with LA Knight, maybe somebody that he goes up against at Crown Jewel, and CM Punk. And even Roman Reigns could be in there at War Games. There's your 4-man team. Maybe you add in Gunther in there as well, because of Gunther's history with Punk coming off of the title match. I think Cena in a War Games protects him. He could be the last one to enter War Games. It can just be a lot of brawling for Cena in there and something different for him as he's inching towards retirement. Or would he go one-on-one with somebody? But right now, I don't know who you would have Cena face one-on-one at that point at Survivor Series. So I'd kind of like to see him in War Games. But then that takes us to the retirement. In December, it's going to be John Cena's final match. This, I believe, is advertised as or blocked off anyways, as a Saturday night's main event. Gonna be like Goldberg, ladies and gentlemen. I hope not. Poor Bill, he didn't get to talk in the microphone at all. So that is a little concerning right there. If John Cena's final match is at an NBC special, just a regular televised special, I kind of worry that he would get the Goldberg treatment where they're gonna yank him off TV and just cut the feed as he's trying to go through his final retirement speech. Because it's television. The show ends when it needs to end. So put a pin in that, and let me know what you think, because I kind of would worry about that for Mr. Cena, but it does depend on how they actually build that show. Because they could just dedicate the final hour to John Cena and do it that way. But who could he face in John Cena's retirement match? If it's going to be a show that's pretty much dedicated to just Cena, what do you do? Couple of names on my list. One of them, Braun Breaker. Now, if you follow Matt's little thread there that he created, Braun Breaker would totally work as his retirement if he had a War Games match against Seth's group. Then you got some tension and all that with Braun Breaker and John Cena. And you can have him cross paths before then. Braun Breaker retiring John Cena, that to me would be one of the crowning achievements for Braun Breaker in his very young career, to be able to say that he retired Cena. We can all kind of see, I think, that Braun Breaker is WWE's next big thing, as Paul Heyman has said. The future of the company, the guy that's going to main event WrestleManias in the future. You want to put a rocket on his back? you have him retire Cena, and John Cena doing the traditional thing of putting somebody younger over as he exits the company. Cena still gets his ending, he still gets his farewell with the fans and says thank you, but to help somebody for the next several years, it does a lot for Braun Breaker. And if he's still with Seth and doing the whole faction thing, you have potentially the world champion in Seth Rollins, you have the Shula Fala, which is the greatest thing ever, standing there next to him, and you'd have the guy who retired Cena. Something else also for Paul Heyman to be able to talk about on the microphone every single week, much like Paul Heyman would do with Brock Lesnar, who beat the streak. Because that's where I see eventually a break and a split where Paul Heyman breaks off with Braun Breaker and Braun gets his solo run with Heyman, and he's kind of the next Brock Lesnar. Braun Breaker is definitely high on my list as that final match. The other one, Gunther. Again, if there was a War Games match, and maybe there was some moments in there between Gunther and Cena, you can then build up a match for the retirement. And Gunther can already say, I've already retired one legend at Saturday night's main event, I might as well do it again to Mr. Cena. WWE loves Gunther. Multi-time world champion, retired Bill Goldberg, and he really always delivers in the ring. And when you need a giant bad guy, it's kind of Gunther. And it is somebody else that I think would be with WWE for several years. Not that he really needs it necessarily, but maybe it would help propel Gunther to another level. And I think that has kind of been penciled in too for a lot of people that would be Cena's final opponent. But I do have other names. There are others that could maybe happen. And I'm talking like just like a 2 to 5% chance that this does happen. Okay, one name for final retirement match or moment, The Rock. To put a pin and kind of close the entire book on the rivalry between The Rock and John Cena over the course of their history together, and more recently with the heel turn than the babyface turn that we got. Maybe John Cena does an open challenge for his final retirement match. Imagine if it's The Rock and he just comes out. He doesn't have to have a 10-minute match or anything, but it's more of a confrontation, a brawl, a final boss coming out disappointed in John Cena, and John Cena just taking it to The Rock for a few minutes, and it ends with an attitude adjustment, 1, 2, 3, and you close that window. I really don't see that happening, but I gotta throw it out there because you never know. Okay, the last name I have, and once again, it's like very, very slim picking chance that this would ever happen, but to round out all of the names that John Cena has faced and would have faced in his final run, a lot of it is looking back at history and John Cena's biggest opponents throughout his career. Randy Orton, CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, passing to the torch with Cody Rhodes. If they want to pull somebody from Cena's past, one of his biggest rivals, his final match could be against the return of Edge. I think Edge's contract is coming up with AEW this year, and I don't even know how excited I would be to have Edge versus Cena one more time. We've had Edge's retirement from WWE, and he may just be locked up with AEW and be happy over there and not come back. Like that, it's it. But to play it out for a second, what if John Cena's final match was the open challenge? He gets on the microphone and he tells everybody that if you want some, come get some. You get Edge's theme to hit, and you get the two of them. John Cena's biggest rival, the guy who cashed in the very first Money in the Bank on John Cena. You do it one time only, where Edge makes a return to WWE. And in that moment, in that match, John Cena could win. And over the course of that year, he would have been able to take on some of his biggest rivals he's ever matched up against. But I need your help. What did you think of the heel turn? What did you think of the face turn? And who will be the final opponents for John Cena for you? If you want to talk more WWE, click this video right here. Have a great day. See ya.